Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be yet another classic movie review for you. This time, reviewing to you, a movie that I wasn't planning on. This movie wasn't even on my list of movies to watch. However, it's a movie I always came across on Netflix. And you know what, I figured the past few movies were, like, really, intense action movies. This next movie needs to be the complete opposite of that, and it is. The movie I'm going to be reviewing to you is Shakespeare in Love. Now, there are two reasons why I want to check out this movie. One, I heard it's fantastic. I heard the acting's really good. I saw a lot of really good acting, a lot of good actors and actresses in this movie. Plus, got all these awards and everything. I heard it's just a really, really great movie. Two, I just read Romeo and Juliet in school. In my school this year, we read Romeo and Juliet, and I actually really love Shakespeare. You know, as a writer, he's a very good writer. So I was really looking forward to this movie. And what I think of Shakespeare in Love, this movie's amazing. This movie was amazing. It's very, very, there's some parts that'll make you laugh, some parts that'll make you cry. It's an amazing movie. I loved every minute of it. It went, it's 2 hours, but it flied by really quickly, and I really, really loved Shakespeare in Love. Let's get to the movie. The movie takes place in 1593 London, and basically, Shakespeare is he's a player in the Lord Chamberlain's Men, and he's also a playwright for this guy, Philip, who is the owner of the Rose Theatre, which is where he's going to be coming up with his next play. Romeo is working on this new comedy called Romeo and Ethel, which eventually will become Romeo and Juliet. At the time, it's a comedy called Romeo and Ethel, the Pirate's Daughter. He has very bad writer's block, and, he's barely begun starting the play. But unfortunately I need to start auditions because he kind of has this deadline where he needs to get it done now, or else, he kind of has to get it done now. Enter Viola, she is a very wealthy, she's the daughter of a wealthy merchant, and she has actually seen, Shakespeare's plays, and she's a big fan of Shakespeare's work. And she really wants to be a part of his plays. But of course, in 1593, that was illegal. You couldn't have a woman in a play. It was just illegal, and it was unheard of. It was illegal to do that. So she creates in a disguise, like alter ego, called Thomas Kent to audition. So that way she can be in the play because she's a big fan of Romeo. And what ends up happening, though, is that Shakespeare actually, goes to Viola's house, meets up with Viola at this dance, who Viola, of course, is engaged to be married. She's engaged to be married, and they meet up and everything. They meet up at this dance and everything, and she's there, and he falls in love with her right away. He vows to see her again, and you kind of start to see her. So, you see him, you start to see her really fall in love with Shakespeare, and Shakespeare falls in love with her, and that's basically what the movie is. It's Shakespeare in Love. Now, it's important to know that this movie is an entire work of fiction. There was no real, Viola. That is completely fake. The characters in this movie are fake, minus William Shakespeare, of course. But as Viola de Lesbos, he was not a real person. So she was not a real person. Most of the characters in this movie are fake. I believe there are two that are real. Philip Henslowe and Ned Allen. Those people are real. Those people are real. But the character that Gwyneth Paltrow plays, she's not real. So it's important to know that. But let's get to what I really thought made this movie great. The acting. The acting in this movie is phenomenal. Oh my god, so good. Joseph Fiennes as William Shakespeare, amazing. I don't know what else he has done, but he is really, really good. He's a really good actor. I don't think he's done anything else as big as this. I really don't think he's done anything else. I mean, let me look right now. Really, he hasn't done anything else that's as well known as this movie. I'm sure he's done other things, but I don't recall seeing him in anything else really, really big besides this movie. I think this is his biggest role, and I think definitely that's a great thing, because he's very, very good in this movie. He's very good as Shakespeare. He's everything I would have wanted Shakespeare to be. He's very into his writing. He gets inspiration from his writing. He's a fun guy to be around. he has a lot of tendencies that Romeo has. We see that in this movie, that Shakespeare is a lot like Romeo, which I really like. You know, he vows to be with his true love, even though he knows he can't be. He wants to be with her, even though, you know, it's not as crazy as it is in Romeo and Juliet. You know, he kind of, his tendencies are Romeo. But he was fantastic. I thought he did a very good portrayal of Shakespeare. Very, very good. Gwyneth Paltrow as Viola, also great. She was fantastic, especially the times when she, you know, she's playing her alter ego, Thomas Kent. You know, you can see that she wants to reach out to him and everything. She really does like him, of course. And, you know, when she's Thomas Kent, she has to act like she's a man, and it's very interesting to see her in those scenes. Definitely thought she did a really good job. Jeffrey Rush as Philip, also really good. You know, he's kind of the guy. He's the guy that he is the guy that Shakespeare has to give his money to. He makes a bet with him, basically, and yeah, so that's a pretty big thing, of course. Colin Firth as Wessex. Now, this is the guy that that Viola is engaged to get married to. Very, very important guy. I thought he did a good job. You know, he definitely did a good job. You didn't like this guy. You thought he was wrong for her. You wanted to be with Shakespeare. He did a good job of doing that. I thought he definitely did a really good job with his character. I enjoyed his character a lot. Everyone else was good in the movie. I think the two main stars really were the biggest stars in the movie, but everyone in the movie was very, very good. Now, let's get to the biggest part of the movie, the spoilers, of course. There were a lot of spoilers in this movie. A lot of spoilers in this movie, so if you have not seen Shakespeare in Love, don't listen to the rest of this review. Alright. So basically, the one thing, of course, I do have to talk about is when she revealed to him that she, you know, was not, when he found out the truth about her not being Thomas Kent, I thought that was a very good reveal. I overall liked that. I thought they did a really good job of doing that when he found out. I thought he was just going to find out and he'd be upset with her. But you know what? Then I realized we're only an hour into the movie and a lot of things need to start happening. And he just loves her so much that he didn't care. And I thought that was really, really great when he found out the truth about her. I just thought it was a very well done scene and just really, really good. And I didn't expect them to have sex, but I thought it was good that they did that because it really showed how much they cared about each other. And I thought that was definitely a very, very good scene. So that was definitely one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when he found out the truth. Of course, the other thing I love is when she got so into his writing. You know, I really like that as well. But the other thing that I really like about this movie, the other big thing, of course, is the ending. I really like the ending of this movie. I think it is sad, of course, that they can't be together in the end. But I also love seeing when, you know, it's sad when they can't be together in the end, unfortunately, which is kind of sad. But you know, that's pretty sad when we find out that they can't be together. However, I do think it was interesting that in this movie, she's his inspiration for his next play, which of course is Twelfth Night, which I've also read in my dramatics class. You know, my English class, we read Romeo and Juliet, and in my dramatics class, we read Twelfth Night. So I find that kind of interesting. And, you know, I thought that was a good way to end it, because it really shows that he really does love her, and even though they can't be together, that he really does care about her. So I definitely thought that was very well done. Those are pretty much the only spoilers I have for the movie. Let's get to what I really liked about this movie. The writing in this movie, wow. Wow, considering that, of course, this was not a true story, it seems very, very factual. Like, it seems like there's a lot of facts throughout. It sounds like it actually happened, and it very well possibly could have happened. All we know is that there was no Viola, that wasn't a real girl. However, I could definitely see a story like this happening from Shakespeare. You know, he was very passionate about his writing, so I could have seen something like this happening. It's not like it's uncommon to me, and I thought it was definitely very cool the way they did the writing. The writing was very good. Directing, wow, the director of this movie was very, very good too. There's some really great shots in the movie, especially a scene where you see Viola reading Shakespeare. She's reading it as Viola, and then she reads it as Thomas. Very, very well done. I really thought they did a great job of that. John Madden, very good director. I thought he did a really great job with the movie. Definitely. That was definitely great. One of my favorite parts of this movie, by the way, definitely is when we actually get to see them perform Romeo and Juliet. You know, seeing them perform it and then seeing, like, the whole crowd watching it and seeing their reactions to it. Because you remember, that's true. You know, basically where they were, that's true. You know, they stood there, they watched it, they didn't expect, and then when they cried, of course, over it being a tragedy, I just thought that was very cool to see, because, you know, it's cool to see their reaction to that, because we didn't expect them to react that way, and I thought that was very cool that they did that. I was definitely got really, really into that. That was definitely really, really cool. And yeah, so I really liked that. Of course, the other thing I loved were you really felt like we were in the 1500s, like they did a really good job of doing that. All the costumes were really good, things like that I really liked as well. And the other thing I didn't expect this movie to have was the humor of the movie. I didn't expect this movie to be as funny as it was. There are some scenes in this movie that are actually really, really funny, and I enjoyed those scenes overall. I liked that this movie was a dramedy. You know, they could have done a very serious Shakespearean movie, but I don't think that would have been as fun as this was. Like, the first half of this movie is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. The first half's a lot of fun because, you know, of course, Viola's covered up the fact she's Thomas Kent, so that's really fun to watch. Of course, it's just a lot of fun in some parts in this movie, and I really enjoyed that about this movie. Was how fun it was at times. That was one of the best parts, I think, because I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was. So yeah, that's definitely something that I really enjoyed about the movie was the humor. And then of course, the only other thing I think I do want to talk about is that the movie is 2 hours long, but it's it really flies by quickly. And also, this movie won a lot of Academy Awards. It won 7 Academy Awards the year that it was nominated. It won Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress to Judi Dench. I forgot to talk about Judi Dench. She plays a good role. I believe, who does Judi Dench play? She plays the Queen Elizabeth. That's what she plays. She plays Queen Elizabeth. She did a very good job with doing that as well. I forgot to say that about Judi Dench. But Judi Dench, you know, she's amazing. She's always amazing, though. So yeah, she's quite good. But, you know, I really enjoyed everything about Shakespeare in Love. I thought it was a very good movie. Very fun movie, as I said. I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was, too. I really liked the acting in the movie. Just everything about the movie was very, very good. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Not for kids. Definitely not really for kids. There are like about 3 nude scenes. Other than that, though, I do recommend you guys check it out because it's a very good movie. It really makes you think, could this have really happened? Because that's the one thing I'm still wondering is, did this actually happen? Because there's no one that says the story's completely fake. All we know is that they came up with the story for this movie. Yes, they came up with a story. The characters are fake, but there's nowhere that says the story's completely fake. I do think some stuff in the movie is true. There could have been a girl. And you know what else was really cool about this movie? Is when we found out that people like Rosaline in Romeo and Juliet was true. I thought that was cool, too, that we found out that Rosaline was a real person. That was really cool. I really like they did that. This movie kind of reminded me a little bit of Saving Mr. Banks. Like, Saving Mr. Banks is a modern-day version of Shakespeare in Love, because Saving Mr. Banks is about putting Mary Poppins together and seeing, like, how that happened, like, how that story came together. And Shakespeare in Love is seeing how Romeo and Juliet came together, which I thought was definitely really, really cool, the way that they did that. But overall, as I said, I love Shakespeare in Love. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Let me know what you guys saw of this movie. Did you like how fun... Did you expect the movie to be as fun as it was? Did you like how, you know, she inspired him and everything? What'd you think of the performances? Let me know anything else you want to know about Shakespeare in Love. That's it for my review. Hope you enjoy it. And my next review will be for tonight's episode of Orphan Black. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.